Cara mia motek Donna Zerner. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's your 60th birthday.
60.
Yeah,
Can you believe it?
I can believe it. Because it's like this amazing ripening that's been happening on the one hand, but on the other hand, you don't look 60 at all. You don't seem 60.
Yeah. Well,
Though it's not just me, but many people say that.
oh, well, thank you. This is, my secret is basically retin-A and no kids. That's my secret. But babe, you know, I mean, I'm just held together by concealer and duct tape. I mean, you've seen what I look like first thing in the morning.
Well, let me tell you. I think you're still sexy and beautiful.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to remind you of who you are and where you've come from. You were a celibate monk for many years. Your standards are very low. You don't even look at porn. But I'll take it. I'll still take it. Thank you very much. Look, I've come a long way in the guy department. I mean, I've been with some real characters before you. I mean, cartoon characters, literally.
Wait, are you in the arms of Gumby there?
Yes, Gumby.
That was your old boyfriend.
My old boyfriend. I've been with some real bad boys. They just were bad and it just got worse and worse. I mean, the truth is I've been with some total snakes.
I guess so.
But now I feel so happy with you. And I feel like my life is just getting to a better place.
Yeah. More
and more as I get older.
Well, what is your intention? I know intentionality, conscious intentionality is an important part of your spirituality. As you turn 60, what is your intention for life?
I would say my main intention at this point is just to get through the night without waking up to pee 5 times. That would be good. But beyond that, I think one of the things I'm working with right now is about self-acceptance, actually. I feel you've seen, I'm good at beating myself up for not being perfect, right? And I have...
You've grown so much. You're like gentle with yourself.
It's a process. Yeah. I mean, because, it's so easy to focus on my flaws. I'm judgmental and I'm compulsive and I could be lazy and I have terrible skin. I mean, I've had acne nonstop since the Nixon administration. So, but I feel like I am kind of relaxing into just like holding all the imperfections of my flawed humanity in the larger perfection of the divine. That's been feeling good.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I think that's an invitation for me and for all of us, but it's particularly amazing for you because you identify with the number 1 on the Enneagram, the Enneagrammatic 1, which is, perfection is very juicy.
Perfectionism. Yeah, that's definitely my struggle. And, I could say it's actually all the things that I tend to beat myself up for. I could say, well, it's not my fault. I'm a Enneagram 1, or I am a Sagittarius with Virgo rising, or I wasn't breastfed as a baby, or I was the unwanted twin, or, on and I mean, there's a million things that, like, you could even go further back, like, I have inherited all this trauma from my ancestors in the shtetl, and I have internalized all the warped values of, our masculine culture, and going back and back, I've taken on the unhealthy belief that we are separate from one another and from nature and from the divine that started thousands of years ago, that we've all taken on. So in other words, the hard things, the things I don't like about myself, it's not my fault.
It's not.
No,
It's the human condition.
I blame
The
the patriarchy.
patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Me too. I blame them.
You too.
Me too.
And I'm not sure you're allowed to say me too, but it's okay. Okay. So yeah, so that helps.
Yeah.
But there's always a sense of, you know, even in that self-acceptance issue, am I doing enough? Right? That's a big issue for me, as you know.
You're doing enough. Yeah. Well, you do a lot, let me tell you. But and I've also seen you shift into a different kind of doing.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny because like growing up, and maybe because I'm from Hollywood or I don't know, but there's always a sense like, you know, I need to change the world and it has to be big, right? I have to make a big splash and it has to affect thousands, if not millions of people, or else it doesn't count, you know? And so, you know, I've done things in my work through, right? My
Oh yeah, your editing work, your publishing work, discovering Julia Cameron's book.
The Artist's Way, yeah, that wouldn't have happened without me, and all the authors I've worked with, and
the writings you've done yourself,
and my stories,
and Jewish renewal.
Yeah, and kosher hams,
you know, but storytelling,
right? You know, but it's. Oh, and I rescued David Frenette from his sad, lonely monastic life and dragged him kicking and screaming into the world of the lively Shekhinah embodied.
L'chaim.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's worthwhile just for on its own. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So you've done a lot.
I've done a lot. I feel like, you know, again, there's that sense of, because there's so much suffering in the world, you know, is it ever enough? But what's interesting is one thing I've noticed is it used to be I was always about like growing up, doing more. I have to accomplish more. I have to achieve more. I have to produce more. I have to create more. It was about addition, you know, whereas lately it feels, as I get older, it's more about letting go of things, letting go of beliefs that don't serve, letting go of my neuroses, letting go of any kind of the schmutz, you know, the schmutziness that gets in the way of allowing my authentic light to radiate and shine, you know. So I would say in the beginning it was about addition, and now it's about subtraction.
Yeah.
The problem is I was never very good at math. So we'll see how this process goes.
Well, one thing comes to mind, the nature mandalas that you work with, your creative art, which is all about being. It's just flows. Your creativity doing a nature mandala flows out of your consciousness. It's an act of prayer, that creativity, and yet people are so transformed by it anonymously. I mean, I meet people all the time when I'm doing my hike, and they're like, "Oh, the flower mandala fairy has done a new mandala," and I'm going, "Oh yeah, that's my wife. I sleep
That's no
night.
fairy. That's my wife." Yeah, the mandalas were a surprise. I mean, especially because, as you know, like I never thought of myself as a visual artist, and I just do them out of my own pleasure, you know, and it's a good outlet for my perfectionism, and I'm not attached to the results because they're so impermanent, but it was a surprise that they've turned into a thing that really uplifts so many people. So that to me is a good example of doing that comes out of being, you know, and because it is more relaxing. Like I feel like for so long I felt like it doesn't count, you're not changing the world unless you're making a big splash, you know. And so there was this effort to like make a big splash, you know, have a huge impact, but it's kind of got exhausting. And I just finally was like, I just want to float for a while. Is that okay? Can I just float? And recognizing that there can be positive rippling effects out of just floating in your authentic beingness, you know. So and I'm remembering actually when I was 40, I had this series of very vivid dreams of orca whales leaping up out of the water and doing flips and cartwheels and splashing back down into the water. And in these dreams, I would feel such profound bliss and ecstasy. They were amazing dreams. And I realize now, like, you can make a big splash in the world just out of joy. It doesn't have to be this like onerous, like, I'm gonna be an activist and fight the system. And, you know, it could be joy. And that was kind of revealing. And what's interesting too about orcas is in the orca pod, the leaders are the elder postmenopausal females. They're the ones who everyone follows to know, like, where's the food and where do we go and how do we migrate. And
Orca crones.
The orca crones, they're the respected ones. And same with elephants. You know how much I love elephants.
I know, elephants.
Yeah, I love elephants. And so it's the same. In the elephant herd, it's the matriarchs, the elder females, that they're the ones everyone respects and follows, you know, especially when they're in danger and stuff. And I mean, in our culture, elder women are so like, ugh, you know, you're invisible. You're not hot anymore. We don't care about you, you know. But, you know, imagine if we were given the respect of like whales and elephants. And also, you will never hear an elephant or a whale saying, oh, I'm so fat. I've gained so much weight. Oh my God. I hate myself. I'm disgusting. You'll never see that.
No.
They're okay with taking up space.
Yeah.
You know?
Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance no matter how big you are.
Yeah.
I like that.
Even if they're number 1 on the Enneagram.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. So yeah, there is that question though, because of the suffering and all this. Am I doing enough? You know, am I doing enough?
Yeah. Well, I remember too your long-term commitment to environmental justice and, well, animals. You know, it's the beauty of animals and everything. And then one of the most profound things that happened a few years ago is that we got that little award.
We got an award.
Which is Meritorious Service Award, which will flash up there, recognizing a foundational contribution that you and I have made
together
towards the environment, which is...
We didn't have kids!
You didn't have kids!
Simple! Like that, just in not doing, we did. Apparently that is one of the most profound contributions someone can make to help the environment is not have children. Now, no offense to those of you who have had children, you know, we're not judging, but we're just saying there is a benefit to in not doing.
In not doing.
Yeah.
And then all the things that you continue to do for the environment and for the world. Just like when I see you come back from a walk and doing a nature mandala, you're invigorated to do your work and your creativity and your service in a beautiful way. So that being that feeds doing, I think that's a wonderful intention for 60, and I see you ripening into that.
Yeah, it's interesting because 60 is, I was born in 1960 and 1960, and I am 60, so I was looking at that number 60, and in Hebrew gematria, the numerology, the letter that corresponds with the number 60 is samech, which looks like a circle in cursive, and it's, to me, the circle is the feminine, which is about being, and it's about wholeness, and it's not like the line, which is about getting somewhere. It's just completeness within itself. It's like my mandalas, and that felt kind of significant too. So that was good. So
I love this.
I'm glad you love it. I'm glad you're not leaving me for a younger trophy wife yet. We'll see what happens when I hit 70.
You're my trophy.
Well, I mean, the truth is, I feel, I mean, it's funny, like, I feel like the culture is telling us, like, as an older woman, you should be ashamed. you should, you know, just go be invisible somewhere. But it's like, I am so happy, like, every year as I get older, I just come more and more into my sense of self, unapologetically, like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And there's something so exciting about that, you know? So I mean, I hope all women, you know, as we age can like just come into, and of course I have so much to be grateful for, and you one of them, you know, big one, maybe number one. Yeah, maybe number one. All right, number one.
Our friends too.
Our friends too, yes, of
and
course.
family.
Yes, and so many blessings and gifts. And so I just feel like at 60, I'm ready to kind of take my seat of power too. And we'll see, the next years are going to be very interesting for ourselves, interesting for the world. But I'm just ready to, you know, own my power. And I personally, I think older women should be called queenagers. So in that sense, I take my crown. We just finished watching season 4 of The Crown, so very in it. But just this sense of serving my realm, being a queen out of service, you know, service to others, as opposed to like, oh, you know, worship me. But you may still bow.
Your Highness.
Thank you.
Your everythingness. Your humanness.
My
your
humanness
highness,
and my divinity.
Your divinity.
All of it. It's taking it all. It's a beautiful thing.
What a blessing.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you for celebrating with me. And thank you for being there with me. Really appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.